Bluespecs reviews, and I am here with, I have two brown ales. I have, well, this one I'm going to do right now is definitely brown ale, but the next one is a weird little product, which is sort of a brown ale, sort of a stout, so I'll get to that in the next video. However, right now I'm going to be doing a beer review of a Founders beer. This is their Sumatra Mountain Brown Imperial Brown Ale brewed with Sumatra coffee. It says, this bold brown ale gets its body from a team of malts, including caramel malt for sweetness, flaked barley for dense foam, a bit of chocolate malt for color, and aromatic and Munich malts for added depth. German Pearl German and Pearl hops add a touch of bitterness to balance the sweetness. The addition of rich Sumatra coffee takes this perfectly balanced brown ale to a decadent level. So, bottled on. I love this because they have a bottled on date right here. Bottled on 12/15/17. Now, this is a 9%er, so that doesn't matter so much when we have beers that are elevated in percentage, but it matters more when you have lower ABV beers and especially IPAs where the bottle on date really matters. Not enjoy by or drink by dates or best by dates, but bottle on dates. This date right here is for you as the consumer to know when this was bottled. So this beer gets a 4.29 out of 5 on Beer Advocate, and like I said, it's 9% alcohol by volume with 40 IBUs. Very much looking forward to this. A 4-pack of this, I believe, was $10.99 or so, maybe $11.99, something like that. But it looked like something I really wanted to try, so I went ahead and got it. Most things from Founders are fantastic. Okay, like Founders is probably one of my favorite breweries in the country. It has surpassed Stone for me back when I was, when I was, in my first years of doing beer reviews, like my first couple of years, Stone was my favorite thing ever. I still do love Stone, but the Founders has surpassed them, I think, in just awesomeness all around. So I'm gonna pour this in my tulip glass. Just wash this, so I have some water in it. A little bit. I kind of got it out. So this is a brown ale brewed with coffee, caramel malts, aromatic malts, and flaked barley, and also German and Pearl hops, and Sumatra coffee. So with that pour, we had about a finger of light brown head. The body is very dark. Looks like it's translucent to me when I put it in light. You can see some particulate matter floating about in it. It's bubbles, but it's very dark brown with some ruby brown highlights coming through in the light. So let's get a good smell on this beer. Oh my god. This is just, the smell of this beer is just, mostly what I'm getting is that really amazing smelling Sumatra coffee. Now, it smells very similar to Founder's Breakfast Stout because that has a very coffee heavy thing, and they also use very good coffee. It also kind of reminds me of Surly Coffee Blender because that's very heavy on a really good coffee. But there's a lot of really good stouts and brown ales out there that use really high level, good quality coffee, and this does too. I'm picking up the main thing on the nose is that really good coffee. Picking up a little bit of the caramel malts and a bit of the barley, a little bit, and a little bit of the hops, like a little bit. But that Sumatra coffee is really like dominating here. That's really the main thing you're getting here. And if you could, some people might not pick up what I'm picking up because different notes, but there's a bit of those things on the nose. So let's go ahead and take a sip here. Never had this one before ever. Oh wow. Oh man. Oh baby. Oh my damn. Boom. Oh god. This is the shit right here. This is you would say in the 90s, this is the bomb. And I was born in the very, very early 90s. The first 2 months of the 90s, so I know a little bit about 90s culture. um, I'm gonna try and describe this because it's just so awesome. It's kind of difficult for me to, you know, tabulate and put into words when I'm this feeling, this amazingness that I'm tasting. So on the nose, the coffee dominates big time. The palate, you have a different thing happening. The coffee is definitely there. You have kind of this is very another beer that I would consider to be contemplative because it's not like cut and dry. You know what you're tasting. You know exactly what it is, but there's and you still know what you're tasting, but it's very very complex. I guess is like a beer that is contemplative is also very complex on the palate, and sometimes complexity of things that are of things that taste and smell amazing can make a beer be an A plus beer, and I think that's where I'm headed here. So I can't really establish in what order I'm getting things like I usually can because it is somewhat cohesive, somewhat rounded and balanced. But I'm getting the Sumatra coffee very very much in this whole thing, very very tasty. I'm getting caramel malts for sure. Getting the barley malts, getting a couple other malt flavors going on. Oh man, picking up the chocolate malts as well. Wow, that on the chocolates really the chocolate thing really complements the caramel and the caramel malts in the coffee. Oh my gosh, that's wow. Decadent, as they put on the bottle, is the word for it. Um, this is very decadent. Man, and the hops are. It's hard to describe the hops. I mean, the hops don't manifest themselves in any discernible way, but I know that they're there because there's hop characteristics in this beer that you know that they're using certain hops, but the other things, other brown ale stout like stuff, kind of blur out any discerning characteristics that the German and the Pearl hops would have. But you know that they're there, and it makes everything balanced out. It's not too sweet. It's not cloying. It makes everything balanced. It's still very very decadent without being too sweet. Um, it's really just it's this is art. Okay, this is beer art. Is what this is. Oh, man. And I don't pick up any of that 9% alcohol at all. The feel is medium and slightly higher than that. This is kind of a sipper, however, it does have a good amount of drinkability because I can and have gulped it down a good bit. So it has a lot of great things going for it. Um, it is slightly sticky, which you would expect with these things. Man, I would love to just buy a 4 packs of these and just keep them and maybe age some of them and see how that see how that brings some things out and maybe changes some things. And I'm doing that with a couple Founders Breakfast Stouts, but that's lasted because I've had enough money to buy beer that I haven't drank them yet. So we'll see how long that lasts. See how long I have. See how long I have money. And I only have money because I have money because there's a lot of reasons that I have money, but it's mostly managing my money well, and that's the reason I have money. And that's the reason I can do these beer reviews for you. But how to rate this majestic, amazing beer? A plus would be the lower level for it, I think. This, and I think if you read Beer Advocate reviews, a while before they changed to numeric ratings, they had a alphabetical rating from A to F, or A plus to F. They had and they had like categories for each rating. They had like a word for it, where C's would be like it's okay, you know, it's fair. B's would be like good. A's would be excellent, and above A plus would be like a world class. World class would be like above the A plus. This, I think, has that. I think this is a world class beer, just like Founders Breakfast Stout is. Just like there's a lot of Founders beers that kind of have that possibility of being a world class beer. This, I'm sure, does. A plus for this all the way. If you love brown ales, if you love coffee beers, if you love stouts, if you are into these kinds of things, this you have to try. Gotta try it. Just have to. It's if you're into the craft beer type of things like this, like I am. This is the fucking bomb. You have to try it. It's amazing. So it's probably my favorite Founders beer besides Founders Breakfast Stout, and the Canadian Breakfast Stout and the Kentucky Breakfast Stout I still have yet to have, which are both hard to find beers. The Founders Breakfast Stout has become more available, and I have been able to acquire it quite a lot in the past couple of years, past 2 or 3 years. But the other two, the KBS and the CBS, are very difficult to find, and I can't find them. Let me know if you've had the Sumatra Mountain Brown Ale from Founders. Let me know your thoughts on them. I'd love to discuss this beer with you. If you didn't think it was world class, if you thought it was world class, you're just like me, I'd love to discuss it. Comment below right now. When you comment, I get a notification, and if I'm not busy, then I will. Like if I'm not at work, I will definitely come right and discuss with you. So, again, thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great night.